Welcome to the Lost and Faded podcast, where we get faded and lost into whatever movie we're feeling this week. I'm feeling this week Halloweentown 1 and 2 with me, Byron, and Megan.
Hello.
Well, what was all those hands?
It was,
Okay.
nice. Explaining what you were saying via hand movement.
So yeah, this week we're doing Halloweentown 1 and 2. Love these movies.
Classics. Honestly, it was giving nostalgic in the weirdest fucking ways, because some of the scenes in there, I was like pulling deep memories from my childhood.
Yeah. But then you remember stupid stuff about this shit, and you're just like, what is going on?
Well, and rewatching this as an adult too is kind of fun. It's like, this was crazy when I was a kid.
It's wild.
Like, that was wild. Especially like all Halloween, like Disney or like Nickelodeon, like those Halloween movies.
Yeah. There's a lot of decent decoms.
Wow. Yeah.
Halloween decoms. All right.
Love that word.
You want to read the synopsis?
I think this is already inaccurate to begin. She says Marnie and her kids. She's not the mother. She's the sister. She's the eldest sister of three siblings. The eldest out of 3 siblings. But they get a big shock when they follow Grandma home to Halloweentown and find out they come from a family of witches. The town is the only place where supernatural beings can lead a normal life, but trouble is looming. And on her 13th birthday, Marnie not only finds she's a witch, but that she and her family are involved in a fight against the evil that is threatening to take over the world.
Nice. Okay.
8.
You had a little momentum into that.
Because it got like...
Yeah, it's coming out a lot.
There was the climax and like this short little... They're like, oh, fuck, leaving you at the edge of your seat.
All right, getting straight into it. We appear at their house.
Yep.
I think Sophie was looking outside, everyone being doing Halloween stuff.
Trick-or-treating.
And Marnie's trying to get her mom to like let her go out to trick or treat, and her mom's like, "No, it's stay inside." And I'm just like, "What's your deal,
Dude?" She goes, "I'm 13. I'm practically grown. Like, I'm a grown up."
She did say that. And I was
13. I mean, I get like, let your 13-year-old go trick or treating because she doesn't have very many left of that.
She's never been trick or treating.
No.
And I'm like, at least 1 year before she's in like high school. Her mom's bogus.
Yeah.
And I get it because she doesn't like the witches and everything. I'm like, she's already into that stuff.
Yeah. You can't deny it. And then to later find out too that she had been suppressing their powers basically the whole time. Like when they would like be using them, she'd try to cover it up. Like, Miss Girl.
Like my head.
It's their natural.
Like, let them have a choice if they want to be a witch or not. Jeez.
But Cromwell's.
Dude, her mom throughout both of these ridiculous.
A bitch. Because it was like she would not give them even a little grace, and then always towards the end, it's like, it's okay, guys, it's fine. Like,
yeah, true.
Whatever you guys say, but gave them
the most trouble
the entire time.
And then, so there's Marnie, the oldest sister, who's like super into the witch stuff. Then there's Dylan, the middle brother, who's like a loser who wants.
Oh. Not a loser.
That's the best way I can describe
Loki, though. He's a little
he wants to be normal. He's like, all this witch stuff that you're talking about is crazy.
He's like Halloween Shelly. Yeah.
And he wants to be just like his mom, to be normal.
I literally went, not that, actually, ass brother.
Because he was like trying to give reasons not to go trick or treat.
For real.
And I'm like, dude, you can chill. Just don't say anything about that.
Stop trying to rain on everyone else's parade.
And then they have the little sister, Sophie, she just be doing whatever she wants.
Low-key, love her though.
Yeah, she is. She's like underrated, very underrated.
She's very in tune. Like, I feel like she was picking up on shit way before even Marnie could. And I'm like, and then Marnie would be like, And it's like, girl, Sophie's right. Like, shut up.
And so Marnie just starts flaming her mom about not being able to do stuff. And she's like, you just want me to be a vegetable. Here I am being a potato rooted in. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. And mom doesn't even argue. She just walks away.
She said, whatever you say, bitch. Mm-mm.
And then Sophie wanted a cookie. And her mom was like, no cookies. So I'm like, Jesus Christ. Let them have something tonight.
But no cookies before dinner. It's like, Miss Girl.
She's like, this is just a regular night. Don't even think about Halloween.
For real.
Insane. And then Sophie's like, I really want that cookie. And she starts like, not knowing she's doing her magic to
levitate this cookie.
And then the mom eats the cookie. And
to try to cover it up.
Dude, you're ridiculous. She's just let them be witches.
I feel like that'd be so dope though, also. I'd be like, fuck yeah, kids. We're gonna know how to work and use this.
Literally. And then so the grandma just appears and she's like, hey.
Flies out of the bus and then like levitates down from the bus and her little bag like jumps down. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought she just appeared in the kitchen.
No. And then she showed up. And then they're like, oh my God, grandma.
And the mom's sick of her already. She's like, oh my God. She's just staying.
And they're like, we haven't seen you in forever. Like,
Jesus.
The kids have been missing her.
Yeah. And literally, we have to remember that Halloweentown time. A year, million years is probably like a century.
For real.
So she's waiting a century to see her family.
Yep.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Ugh.
But anyway, they immediately, Sophie was like, do you have any presents? I was like, Jesus Christ.
Greedy?
I was like, she didn't even like,
no.
She just stepped in the house. Like, give her a second. And of course, she pulled out this stuff from her.
Yeah, and then she did it.
And she's grandma for endless furs. And then Marnie at one point, she's like, hey, Mom, please don't argue with grandma. I'm like, Jesus. Like, what?
Not your child telling you not to argue with your own mother.
No, seriously. I'm just like, it must have been bad last year.
But, like, also...
She should be happy to see her mom.
Exactly. She's too controlling.
She is very controlling. I get she doesn't want to be involved in the witch world, but that doesn't mean you gotta act like it doesn't exist.
Also, there was a dad, Miss Mom had a husband. He died? Yes? No? Yeah. But they never got into it.
No, they never talked about it.
What happened? Zero backstory with that.
Mm-mm. And then the mom gets a new love interest like every movie.
Which girl we get to that. But
yeah, anyway.
They're polar opposites, the grandma and the mother.
They're like immediately arguing about like just normal stuff. The grandma can't do anything. Mm-hmm. She can't. She gave them costumes. They were like, we can go out for a little bit. And the mom was like, no. Nope. I was like, oh my God.
She said, it's like that you thought.
And also the kids, how do the kids not realize that grandma comes around every Halloween? I'm like, you don't like that connection? No? I feel like I would. And I was like, what do these kids do for fun?
They go to school.
Literally, they go to school, come home.
Low-key though, because it like, throughout the movie too, like obviously Dylan, the little dweeb, he is very knowledged, like he's smart, and then you can tell Marnie has like very good like interests and stuff, but like they're abnormal, they're like different than what he would, like she's more interested in all the like
which stuff?
Yeah, like fantasy type things. Her intuition was trying to tell her something. And also throughout this, like the grandma's just dropping hella hints throughout this whole interaction of giving them stuff and like the verbiage she would use and like her, like the way that she would talk to the kids and like oh.
And when she's like telling the bedtime story, she's just mentioning Halloweentown.
Yep. Brings out a whole Halloweentown book.
Okay, grandma.
Illustrated. And then they go, Marnie, it's you. It really did come over her. And then the brother was like, nah, nope.
He's like, no, that girl's hot. He said, and I was
He
like,
did. Whoa.
oh, I don't like that.
No.
They should rewrote that part. And then so the mom's mad about the bedtime story. So she's like, Grandma, you gotta go. They're going to bed.
Yeah.
And then they go downstairs to argue, and the grandma's like turning her like chicken into like a live chicken, and then back into fried chicken.
But then Marnie sees all of this happening too.
And grandma's like, you gotta let her be a witch. If she's not a witch by the end of tonight, she's gonna lose all her powers. And the mom's like, I want her to be normal. I was like, you're so ridiculous. No choice. If she learns about that at some point, it's done.
Yeah.
That's your entire relationship.
She kind of already was.
Yeah, true. She was sick of her mom.
But then, too, the grandma's trying to explain to her mother, like, hey, my town is, something's wrong. Like, something is not going, like, to plan here. Like, there's something bad happening. And she's, and?
Yeah, the mom's like, I'm not going to help.
Nope.
Okay.
And then just doesn't give her an option to, like, oh, shit, like, sorry to Halloweentown, I mean, do you want to come back here? Like, that wasn't even.
No. She was like, that's not my world. I don't have to deal with that.
Nope.
And it's like, you grew up there.
Also, that's where your mother lived.
Literally.
Like, regardless of what qualms you have with her, like, she's still like a person that lives there.
She has a lot of problems. I want to know why she's just shutting out all Halloweentown stuff. It's ridiculous.
Halloween is so fucking cool, too.
And then so Marnie's like, Grandma leaves, and Marnie's like, I have to follow her onto the bus. And then Dylan's like, what are you doing? Don't do that. You're insane. And then
he follows her.
Yeah, he follows her. And he's trying to explain like the grandma's purse, how it's following her. He's like, it can be a remote control thing. I was like, in the 90s? They're just following her? Yeah,
There's no way.
You're just insane. No way. You're insane, Dylan. Yep. The fact that you see this magic stuff and you're like, this isn't real. Crazy. And
I get it's hard to believe, but also like with her purse alone, like whipping out the gifts and stuff, even though it is like a larger bag of dick, this can't all fit in here. Why are you eating this stuff?
Really, I don't know. He's annoying. He's really annoying.
He was a lot.
And so they hop on the bus with Grandma.
They're so obviously on there too.
Yeah, I don't know how they got past her without her noticing.
They went to the back of the bus, so like she went up through the front and then they snuck onto the back.
Oh, they snuck on the back.
Yeah, but then also T the Boots House down. Somehow the youngest, Sophie, got on, but then they don't notice for the entire bus ride. It's like a short bus too. Like it's not.
It's not long.
No.
And then some guy was talking. He was like, I raised a demon from hell. And they said, big deal. I saw the same thing on Jerry Springer. I was like, that was a good one. They're killing it.
It's the tidbits, dude.
There's a lot of good one-liners.
Yep. Especially from the cab driver.
I don't know. Some of the dialogue reminded me of like the early Harry Potter movies. With how snippy they are. It's like very quick dialogue.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's a 90s thing.
I mean, honestly, I don't know.
And so they make it to Halloweentown. They immediately lose their grandma, and they find out Sophie was on the bus with them.
Whole time. And they just didn't know.
And then so they walk up to the mayor. Fucking his name's Calabar. Villain name.
Honestly.
Anyone named Calabar.
She's just sus looking. He looks like a lizard wearing human clothes. Like I mean, not literally like he's like a human, but he just doesn't look right. He has dead eyes. Like it's not. And you trust this man? And I get it's like Halloweentown, like ooh, spooky goblin, blah blah blah. But like, he's a warlock.
I like that you're saying all this thing. He's not wearing any makeup. That's just his normal acting face.
Yep. He fit the bit a little too well.
Yeah,
Sue me.
And so he's like talking to him, and he learns that who they're Cromwells or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, I'll send you to your grandma's house." And he calls Benny the skeleton driver.
Skeleton cab driver.
Yeah, but Benny's killing it.
Yeah.
What's your one line?
Yep.
Do you have any? No.
No, I don't. I literally just put Benny as my favorite.
I put Benny as the best. And so Benny's driving them around, and he's like, "You guys need to be careful. There's a lot of like not good people." He points at Luke, and he's like, "Just like that kid right there."
But and then like everybody got his beef with Luke, man.
Yeah, Luke is such a weird character in this movie.
Especially in the beginning, and like the character development of him is just odd. I didn't believe it at first either. Oh, like, there's no way.
You see him a little bit in the beginning, then he just shows up. He's like a main part of the plot, and we'll get to that though. But it's just like a lot.
So then they get to Grandma's house. Cab driver drops him off, Mr. Benny.
And there's a lock on the gate, and they're like, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" And Marty's trying to do random
stupid bullshit.
Yeah. And of course, Sophie has to save the day.
Literally does nothing. I go, not her being the most powerful. And Marty's sitting here this whole time and is like, I'm a witch. I'm a witch.
Literally.
I'm a witch.
Sophie's so underrated.
Honestly.
She be doing the most. And Marty is just like, I'm the best one.
Yeah. And it's like, girl, you're not even there yet. Calm down.
And so they get to the grandma's house, and the grandma's like, "Oh, you guys are here. Your mom's gonna be heated."
She's like, I want to guess she doesn't know you're here. Oh.
And so they're trying to explain that they want to help her against whatever's going on in Halloweentown. And she's like, "All right, we just have to go get these ingredients." And so they go downtown, and they immediately just get distracted and they start shopping.
Yeah. Where do they go initially? Like the ice cream store or something? So. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they went, no, I think they just went into like a random store.
So, you backtrack. There's a reason she's making this potion. Mm-hmm. But the funny part, Brian, is like I think she doesn't use like the correct ingredients. She puts that shit in the microwave. And the buttons on there were bubble, toil, and trouble. And she just like boop, boop, boop,
I
boop.
didn't know that. I'm sorry.
It was funny. I'm like, not the microwavable settings for her spell.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Her soup. Really though.
And so they're going downtown, and they run into one of Aggie's friends, and it's Harriet. And it does this weird slow-mo cut to her face, just like all like, I don't know how to explain, like monster fight.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Rah."
I'm like, almost like kind of like zombie, but not like.
It's weird. I don't know.
They're under spell.
Yeah, it's under a spell, but it does this weird slow-mo. And I'm just like, I didn't like that. It was very jarring.
Yeah.
And then, so they go into one of the shops, and then Calabar is like there. And he's like, he pulls out a sundae for Sophie. Mm-hmm. No spoon.
No.
What the fuck
He's just doing? A sus guy, too. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah. I don't think she wants to eat that.
No.
I mean, she also doesn't have a spoon.
I mean, just magically appearing. And then, like, the grandma goes up to Calabar and is like, "Hey, bestie, something's not right." Mm-hmm. And he goes, "It's fine. Don't worry about it anymore." And she just looks at him.
He's like,
"Give me 2 days."
Yeah.
And
give me a few days.
You Cromwell's. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, bitch, like, something's going wrong in your town.
I'm like, immediately, that's a problem. Like, what are you... She should know right then. She's like, what do you mean a few days?
This fucking guy. He's sus. And like,
oh, yeah.
She knew, but like, I feel like she couldn't confirm it. It's like, girl, the call is coming from inside the house. The call is coming from inside the town. The Halloweentown, it's your mayor.
And so they continue going shopping, and they get to a broom shop, and then Grandma buys Marnie a broom, and they go flying, and they're like, woo! this is so nice. And so he's
Put a
like,
little-
can I go? And they're like, no.
Nope.
And it's because they were having too much fun. That's when mom comes around. Which, did she take the bus there, I guess?
Oh shit, I don't remember.
I guess she took the bus there.
I think she did. Because she had to summon the sign, or like the sign was already there, and then she had to like summon the bus in order for it to like come down and scoop her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she comes down and she starts yelling about what are they doing, and she thought the mom brought them along, and she's like, no, they came by themselves, and she's like, we just need to go.
Yeah.
And Marnie's like, no, I want to be a witch.
She said, you guys can go back. I'm going to stay here.
And then the mom's like, no, you're grounded, come on. And Marnie's like, okay,
Literally. I'd be like, girl,
run.
honestly though, because that would have been the 13-year-old response. Run away.
And then so the mom's like, let's go. And then they start walking away, and they don't even get to really say goodbye. They say a little bit, like, bye, Grandma. And then the mom tries hugging Marnie, and Marnie's like, no.
She had said, and then just kept walking. And it's like, girl, she's mad at you. Yeah. Like,
What did you expect? You just came in and ruined her day.
yeah. She was excited to be in Halloweentown. And like, they're already there at that point. So like, why wouldn't you have just opened up that door to be like, yeah, guys, all right. All right.
I don't know. She's stresses me.
Yeah.
But then so they go to these two guys that are stuck together for like
The bus ticket.
let's check in. They're just arguing with each other. They're just being ridiculous. And then they learn that the bus is delayed for like a few hours, so they have to wait. And the mom's like, what?
Let's go to the mayor.
Yeah, let's go to the mayor and find an easier way back. But
Marnie knew that like her mom and Calabar already had like a little past because then he was like, oh my God, you're her daughter? And she's like, yeah. It's like, oh, I know her, blah, blah, blah. So like, she was trying to set it up. Like, yeah.
And then so they go to the mayor's office, and immediately he pulls out a flower and gives it to the mom. And I'm like, this fucking guy, like, calm down. That's like, and then she immediately falls for it. She's like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, what about your dead husband?
Also, like, dude was wearing, he looked like Monopoly Man, low-key, in like a colored suit.
And then I'm also like, of course she only likes his magic. Like when he does his shit.
And then that's what Marnie was saying. She's like, oh, you like it when he does it? Because it's only when it benefits you, you fucking weirdo.
I don't know. She just
Let your children enjoy things.
I was like, the mom was a little too happy to see him.
Yep.
She was so happy.
She said, I haven't been touched in 47 years.
And so while they're talking to Calabar, the grandma starts talking to Luke, and Luke's just saying some weird shit. He's like, yeah, this guy's gonna take over. He wants to meet you, actually. And I'm just like, and she's like, okay, where is he? And I'm like, not her taking the bait.
To a movie theater, almost obviously it's like Halloweentown, so it's abandoned, whatever, but everyone and their mom is just like statued in these movie seats, like completely like ghosted over. And there's a big fat ass like portal playing on the movie screen. Shit, isn't it windy? Like it's like things are happening in there. And she just keeps walking. She's like,
she's like,
no. I'd be going the other way immediately. It's like fight or flight. I'm scared.
And then Marnie saw the grandma going in there. She ran after her. And they all follow. And so the grandma, the villain comes out. He's a scary dude. I don't know. Did he have a name? I don't think he had a name.
No, but that motherfucker was scary, and I was terrified of that as a child.
When I was a kid, I was scared.
That was very scary.
Like, I don't want to be in that theater.
Nope.
And he's having a whole monologue to Aggie. And then while he's having a monologue, Luke keeps chiming in. Just saying stupid shit.
Yep.
And the dude's like, shut up, Luke.
He said, literally the only person he apologizes to the whole time so far. He's like, I'm sorry. Or like without like a side comment, like, Luke.
Which I'm like, Luke got one mention earlier, and now he's just a part of the plot.
Yep.
He's just the only reason was to bring Aggie into the movie theater. Well, why does he trust Luke?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's known throughout the town that he's a shit. That he's a little shit.
And they knew he used to be ugly too.
But like, he got a nose job. He got a bag and fixed his face.
I can't.
Mm-mm.
And then so, as this is happening, the dude's finishing his monologue. He's about to like freeze Aggie, and the mom comes in and jumps in the way and gets frozen.
Aggie had them fucking boobs though. He's trying to hit her and she kept dodging him.
And then he finally hit her, and they froze. And it looks like no one was supposed to get hurt. And
that felt bad. Yeah.
He brought them into the theater with all the other people.
But he had done this to. Like, what did you think?
That's what Luke's been doing, is just bringing people in. He's like, he wants to talk to you in here. And they're like, who?
Like, what did you think was going to happen to them?
I don't know. And then so they will all leave. Marnie's like, okay, we gotta figure out the spell to we gotta get the ingredients. So wait, do they go back to the grandma's house first?
They go into the movie theater because I think they realized what was happening, or like they couldn't find them, whatever. So then when they opened the door, the light hit the dude and it like spooked him off. So then they were able to like run in there and see that the mom and grandma were in their little comatose state, like ghosted. So then they're like, fuck, what do we do? And then there had been a talisman prior in the movie.
Oh yeah, the talisman.
That technically they needed this spell for, this potion, in order to do. So then they're like, ah, shit, we gotta go back to grandma's and do that. So then they try to do it.
And then this is when Sophie comes in and saves the day again because she remembers the spell. Because Marnie can't remember shit.
And then that's when they realize they can't do it. And they're like, fuck, we actually need the ingredients. So there's a montage of all of them, like...
Yeah, they're going to get the ingredients.
They get a wolf hair and a ghost tear.
So, the wolf is so dumb.
He's cunty.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But, like, they're, like, distracting him. And then Dylan chops off some of his hair. I think it was Dylan.
Yeah.
But... And then he goes and looks in the mirror. And he's like... Okay, I like this look.
He said, we could still work with this.
And he doesn't even look at the part that gets chopped.
It was just like straight on the back. Like a razor, like no guard.
Yeah. And then, they get the sweat from a ghost and then a tooth of a vampire.
Really harassing that man.
Yeah, that ghost got harassed.
Dude, and the tooth of the vampire scene lived rent-free in my head for so long as a child. And like, it just like, it was so fucking weird. It was the nostalgia, and it was the tooth fairy.
Was it really the Tooth Fairy, or was that a joke?
He might have actually been. I don't know. But then, like, maybe it was maybe a joke. Because now I'm thinking, like, all right, there's no Santa Claus, there's no Easter Bunny there, just no. I mean, is there a leprechaun? Like, a leprechaun could be Halloween? No?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know.
Just paint panties.
I don't know all this. I don't know what's going on.
I just immediately, like, think of, like, the Halloween movie. You know which one?
Yeah. Leprechaun?
No. I mean, technically that is a spooky movie, yeah. Jennifer Aniston was in that, the first one.
I know. Okay, let's look.
But anyways.
So they get all the ingredients and they go to the big pumpkin in the center of town, and they're putting the ingredients in, and then the spooky dude comes down and he's like yelling to everyone. He's like, follow me, listen to my dark magic, and we'll take over the world, we'll enslave the humans. I'm like, ooh,
we'll take back our universe, like we don't need to be in this one anymore.
And then so he just reveals himself to be Caliban, and I was like, I knew that.
We knew.
Yeah, we knew. You were creepy, mister. And so, oof. Alright, this is where we can start getting to the end point. I don't like this ending. It was something.
It was something. Because Marnie, like Luke came out and was like, all right, we got to solve this, do this, and then I'll do that. So then they get together. Marnie climbs up this fucking pumpkin, and she's trying to drop the talisman and relight the pumpkin. And
then it's not glowing right, and she's like, I gotta believe.
Yep.
That's the first time of like 2 or 3 times that they do the believes bullshit.
Yeah.
And then so she believes, it goes off. I think that saves the grandma and all of them. It like saves everyone that was in that spell.
Yep.
And so they come out. And then also, while this was before she put the scepter or whatever into the thing, Calabar was just hitting her with magic. And I'm like, that's a child, dude.
Yeah. Zero regard.
He was like,
he did not care. But then, like, what I don't understand either is if, like, you're trying to stop this, like, the humans in that universe, in that world, like, why are we hurting the people of Halloweentown?
Yeah, I don't know.
Aren't these the people that you would want to be? Like, are you sure? What is the reason?
He's evil.
Ultimately, exactly. But like, for what? He got his panties in a bunch for what?
He's evil. I don't know.
I literally, Calabar's a bitch.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
Like, that's all we know.
And he was big mad about living in Halloweentown, but also it's an ideal town. It's where you could literally be your truest self.
Sure.
I'm assuming you're not like paying taxes, like like it's.
They have a whole council and shit.
Yeah.
They have their own rules.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Live their best life.
And so the grandma and the mom come out and they're all like yelling at Calabar. And then Marnie's like, and now we can defeat you with all of our magic, because Dylan's hands started like sparkling because he
was getting so mad.
Yeah, I was like, cool. And he still didn't believe it. He was like, I don't know what's going on with me.
It's like,
and I'm like, bro, you have magic. You're in Halloweentown. Wake up.
This is no longer a dream. He's convinced it was a dream.
And then so they all line up and then they're like doing it, and Marnie's like, Dylan, you have to believe.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my.
We're also just humming the whole time.
Yeah, and so they use their powers. I don't remember what they did to him. Did he like just disappear?
I think they just like took over the light.
Yeah, like burned.
Yeah, because he was the light was too much for him, girl.
And then I felt like it was kind of anticlimactic a little bit.
And were there not other witches in Halloweentown that Aggie had help?
I don't know, yeah.
I get, obviously, like, you want your grandchild to know about being a witch and getting them involved, but also, like, on the first day, it's her first day.
Yeah, I don't know. They were bugging. I guess there's no other witches that could help. But that's always a thing with these movies. It's like real little witches. And then I feel like it should have been her and her mom working together to destroy her instead of the whole family.
Literally. Because the two of them could have been strong enough.
Yeah.
Like,
so then at some point, Luke's just talking to her, and Luke's like, I just thought you would never go on a date with a guy like me. And I was like, at what point? You guys never had a conversation other than like after you got her mom and grandma captured.
Well, it was like little tidbits, like Marnie was open to it at first, and then he was being like, and she's like, nah. And then he was harassing them when she was getting the broom.
Oh, yeah.
And then after the fact with everything, and then he felt bad because shit hit the fan, and it's like, girl.
I guess. I don't know. Luke's weird in this one.
Yeah, but then like after Calabar disappears, like he gets his normal like.
He's like, I'm ugly, don't look
like a
at me.
troll or something.
And then after they defeated everything, they were about to go on the bus, and they're having this like cute little moment as a family, and just crowds is just around them watching them.
Yep.
I hate that in movies. Like, a crowd wouldn't be sitting there watching them have these conversations. They would walk away by now.
I mean, I'm kind of nosy. And also to think after all of that shit happened, like, I'd be like, nah, what are these? What?
What's going on with this family?
Like, I need to hear the rest of this.
Oh, they're going back to Earth? Oh.
Oh, never mind, but guys. Like,
And the grandma didn't even eat the pack. She was like, let's go.
Yep. Because cool fun fact, you find out her purse is literally like a gateway to her home, and she can pull anything from her purse that's in her house.
That's pretty cool.
It's fuck.
What would you rate this?
At 5.
Yeah.
Just like a 3. I'm gonna go right in the middle.
I think it's just a straight 3.
It's cute for its time, and also I feel like the CGI and the makeup were pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Like the costuming for like the monsters and stuff, like it got pretty intricate.
It didn't do too much with the CGI. We'll talk about the CGI with the second one.
I will. The broom, like when they're flying, I was like,
yeah, it's a little. It's the 1999, I think.
So it's good for its time.
For its time. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Oh wait, no, wait.
We're gonna cut it anyways, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll be back for part 2. Hello, welcome back. Halloweentown 2.
Number 2.
Here we are.
Synopsis on this one.
Yeah.
The grandma, Miss Aggie, sweeps Marnie and the other children off to Halloweentown to investigate a series of strange occurrences. When they arrive, the vibrant community seems to have lost its magic. It isn't long before Aggie discovers that her spellbook is stolen and the trio must find it. They discover that an angry warlock has taken the book and plans to permanently turn every human into whatever costume they are wearing on Halloween night.
Okay. Let's just get straight into it.
Yeah.
It opens up. They're the Halloweentown, or their Halloween party at their house. A little change up 2 years later.
Yep.
Which is nice.
A little more open to it. It feels like a community thing too. Like there's people of all ages.
Yeah.
At this little house.
I'm like, thankfully the mom finally accepted fucking Halloween. That must have been a fight.
Yeah.
Like, we had to skip a few years to get to
Yeah.
Oh wait, and in the beginning, Marnie's in her room, and it shows fucking Cal's face in the wall.
That's a jump scare at the beginning.
And this is just gonna be a thing that keeps happening with his face in different places, and I hate it.
I hate it.
It's the worst.
And they'll throw them on like inanimate objects, and it's just like molded up.
Major creep vibes.
Yep. Jump scare.
But 2 years later, and the mom's still complaining.
I said she always got fucking beef.
Yeah, and I don't know, I forgot what she was complaining about.
It was something with the grandma.
With her,
Whatever
like,
Aggie was doing.
and then, so they all like hang out, and then Cal and his dad just walk in, and they're like, hey, we heard about the party. We just moved in. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And then Cal walks up to Marnie, and like, he just starts flirting with her.
Off the bat.
And they're like literally staring at each other as the like parents are having a conversation. And I was like, that's too much.
Which Cal's dad brought 2 gallons of lime ice cream.
Who's eating that?
Lime?
It's because it's green. It's his favorite color.
And you'll find out soon why.
I didn't like that.
No.
And then so we cut to Dylan being an idiot even more. He's asking out this girl to the Halloween dance. And he doesn't even have a costume. No. Like, what are you doing?
Like, obviously she's gonna turn you down for that, dude. Like
you don't even have a plan?
No.
You were just gonna come up as yourself?
Yeah. Which, like, low-key in the end, it turned out to be a pretty smart idea.
Did it?
Now his costume.
Yeah, we'll talk about his costume.
Not the costume, but like not necessarily.
Not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was smart.
Yeah.
And so Cal is talking to Marnie, and he's like, give me a tour of the place. And she takes him around, and she takes him to her room. So I'm like, yo.
And he's like, this doesn't fit the vibe of you.
No, he's like, this is kind of a boring room.
Yeah. So she's like, let me show you my grandma's room.
So I'm like, not her showing strangers her other people's room.
The secret room need I throw in there You have to
in
like
general.
magically make it appear and disappear.
Don't show other people. Don't show strangers other people's
Yeah,
rings.
Lucky. Especially like
weird.
a authority figure of your like family, you know, like a parent or your grandmother's.
And so she's like, yeah, my grandma's all cool. Look at all this stuff. And Kyle's like, ha ha ha. Let me just grab this real quick.
Shrinks this book, takes it, puts it right in the pocket.
Take it, and then she was like, all right, let's get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that wasn't a little suspicious to you, Marnie? Marnie is just something else.
I said she was thinking with her dick because she was like, he's cute. Wait, who are you? Sure, you want to go check out this cool room?
And then so they go downstairs, and then he asks her to the Halloween dance in like a weird way. He's like, would it be cool if I just crash it?
He's like, I'm not technically enrolled in the school yet.
I'm cool enough, I'll crash it. Who cares? Like, okay, dude, who cares?
Chill.
And he gives her a rose, and he gives her like the weirdest look ever. And I was like, how does she not know it's that weird look?
Oh, he's sus. He's also very sus looking.
Yeah, he's
very much like Calabar.
Yeah, very creep vibes.
Very sus vibes.
Sus.
Not very demure.
And then, so after he took the book and he left through the portal.
Which, like, quickly after.
He was like, I'm out.
Yep. He's like, I gotta go. See you later.
And then, Aggie's, like, trying to give these kids toys and stuff. And then her, like, bag empties. And she's like, that never happens. And then the kids are rude. One of the kids like, oh my God.
He's like, so not for me, man? Like,
he's like, are you serious?
Seriously, though.
And then they all just walk away. Yep. I'm like, okay, rude ass kids.
For real.
You don't deserve anything. I was
going to say, that's all that they like from this grandmother is what she can give them, her presents.
They just want never-ending presents.
She's a good lady.
I'm like, how many of you got 2 presents?
For real.
They're trying to figure out what's going on. And then Aggie's like, we got to go back to Halloweentown. And then Marnie's like, all right, let's go. And the mom's not letting Sophie go because obviously Sophie's like fucking 8 years old or some shit.
Rightfully so.
I'm like, no, you're not going. You're ridiculous.
But then, too, like the mom, she gets invited to the Halloween dance.
The high school Halloween dance, by the way.
And then she's like, we're not high schoolers, blah, 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 to the father of Cal. And he's like, well, they need more chaperones. Like, we can go.
Yeah, we can go and like, just go and dance there. And I haven't doing it.
But then also right in front of the kids, right in front of Sophie and Dylan. And she's like, oh, just kidding. Sophie needs to be in bed. Oh, my God. And then Dylan was like, it's fine, dude. Go. Enjoy your little high school Halloween dance, even though technically this should have been for him also because is he not in that high school? Like, could he not?
He is, but he's a loser. He didn't have a costume. He didn't have a date. So he would have been standing off in a corner by himself, just like drinking a punch.
Literally, one hand in his pocket.
I can't. And also, the dude's dressed up as a frog. And then he brings this ugly ass mask for the mom. And I'm like,
he's like, me and Cal thought this would be good for you.
Like cover that face up.
For real.
What the fuck?
Like, y'all didn't have like, also Miss Grub, being a witch, and I get you trying to suppress it, but like you really just didn't have an extra witch hat laying around.
She definitely did. She hates it though.
I'm like, ooh.
She'll probably scoff at it if she saw it.
For real. Because Marnie was burned one, and Sophie was at one point.
And then so, I forgot to say, Aggie gave Dylan one of those heads that is also a phone.
Yeah, it's a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, basically walkie-talkie. They're really cool. I like those. I'll get one now. And so they're heading back. I'm buying one as we speak.
Honestly, he said Amazon?
And so they're heading to Halloweentown. They keep flashing Cal's face in the sky.
Yeah.
I was like, why do they keep doing this?
Spooky. Jump scare.
Jump there.
So we get to Halloweentown, and it's depressing as fuck.
Wait, before, I was like, the bus stop's gone. And so they just open up a portal. And I was like, what's the difference between the portal and the bus?
Less work?
Kinda. You just walk through the portal and
Honestly,
the bus, you
though,
have to
yeah.
wait for the bus,
Well,
you have to
like-
get on the bus, then you have to fly through the thing. And,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Maybe I guess it's harder to do with one person.
But yeah, this portal is just more straightforward.
And so yeah, we get to Halloweentown. The layout's different. Also, I want to say
Yeah.
the layout's very different. It looked like the budget got cut in this one.
Because it minimized inside. It was
Yeah.
not as large of a town
It
square.
didn't look like a town
No.
like the last one. But so we get to Halloweentown, it's all grayed out. The pumpkin's a cube.
A cement cube.
And so they're walking around, they're like, oh my god, what's happening? They find Luke. Luke's like, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. And he looks normal again,
Yeah, he
too.
looks
And they're like,
normal
what is happening? They're like, it looks like you're under the spell again of Calabar.
They just really want to keep him normal. They were trying to keep that.
For real.
down.
Which, honestly, controversial, not controversial. He doesn't look that bad. In the first one, they were getting a little fucky with his makeup. But then in the second one, what they did with it, it fit a little bit better. With like the longer ears and longer nose versus like the warts and stuff.
Did he get recast? I got almost.
It kind of does, but then I also can't tell with like the aging. Like the
Yeah.
kids are all the same, but like
Roughly ages.
maybe because they had to have recast.
I don't know. I don't know. Gotta look into that. So they're trying to figure out what's going on, and fucking Cal's face appears on the cube, and he's like, he reveals this whole plan. He's like, ha ha, I'm gonna turn everyone here into humans and everyone in the human world into monsters. And I'm just like, okay, I guess. What does that really accomplish? Well, his dad, I don't know what. His dad just wanted to take over.
Okay, so Cal is Calabar's son.
Yeah, Cal is
Cal Jr.
Calabar's son.
Cal Jr.
So I'm like, Jesus Christ, of course.
But like, why wouldn't he have tried to just like redo what his father was doing by making all the like Halloweentown residents go into like the normal world and like take back that world? Like, why would we try to reverse it?
I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense.
And
It is the same. He is the same actor.
Nice. And then Cal's talking to Marnie. He's like, you naughty girl. I was like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. That was weird.
And also, like, kind of would have been around the same age. Like, they casted to what would have been similar in her age group. So, like,
Yeah.
to say that,
Like,
weirdo.
and so he's explaining his plan, and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna turn your mom into an ugly monster. He leaves. And so they're like, we have to reverse the spell. We have to get a spell book from Aggie's house. So they take Benny, who's human now, back to Aggie's house with
Everyone's like normal SpongeBob. We're like the pixies from Fairly Odd Parents.
yeah.
It gives
like
very much
normal.
that.
They're very normal.
Block.
All gray out.
Yep.
Just
Simple.
basic costumes.
Wow.
And then
Hi, Lauren. Tracy.
And so it switches to Dylan, Sophie. I think Marnie radios to them and tells her to like keep the dad away from their mom.
Yeah.
Like we have to go out and do it. And so they leave and they're like, they give Dylan the worst costume. Do you wanna?
I'm gonna leave that one to you, Baron.
No, I don't wanna.
I don't either.
You could look it up. I'll put it up, I guess.
She's just a little,
It's controversial.
yeah,
They shouldn't have
a
done
little
that.
tasteless. And it was just like a panel where in there it was. I'm like, again, we didn't have like
They could have done that.
a
Literally.
or like a long jacket
It's just, I don't know.
and the ear of sorts, like
Oh, it's a mess.
another face mask. I get he wasn't a big Halloween fan, but it seemed like they went a little bit harder this year. So we didn't think ahead of this. Like,
I just don't think they cared.
no.
So, like, okay, so then,
Neither did production and the filming of that.
so they're leaving out to to the Halloween party, and it cuts back to Marnie, Luke, and Aggie at their Aggie's
Grandma's
house
house.
place, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to find where this book is, and everything looks normal. And she realizes, oh, it's lost. So it should be in the lost thing. Also, during this part, at some point, Marty just says something, and it like turns Luke back to his regular self. And he's like, oh, what did you do? And they never even commented on it. They were like, it must have just faded.
Or like over time or something.
Yeah.
But then wasn't there like a reverse word? I can't remember if she said it or not in that moment then. She did. Yeah. But within the process of them looking through for this book, for the other book, because dude took it and they're trying to find it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They just go through the first floor. Just the first floor of the home.
And Luke's just standing there when they were doing, but it was before he like
Came back to, yeah.
But so then they realize Aggie's like, we have to go to this dude named Gort, who he gets all the lost stuff at his house, and if you lose anything, it's at his house.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go to Gort.
Gort.
I don't know how I feel about this character. I have a lot. I feel like there's something wrong here. I feel like they should have casted someone else. Like, you have this certain color person and this.
It feels very. I don't even know how to.
He's a trash man who loves trash, and they're like, this is his normal self.
And it's like all the lost things, like.
And he like his opposite self is just a normal guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. Well, anyways,
A little tasteless in this one, a little. There was not much.
There's like.
You could tell there wasn't enough diverse people within the making of this film, to the filming, to like the whole line. So things just kind of.
They weren't thinking, or they just didn't care. I think it was a little bit of
both.
So then they get to Gort's house, and Gort's normal. He's all clean. He cleaned up everything in his house. And he's like, yeah, I don't have the book. I sold that years ago. And so now they're freaking out. They're like, what do we do? And they try leaving. And Cal fucking locked the doors, and he's like, I knew you guys would be here. He's in the fireplace.
Yep.
Talking shit.
Dude, he's such a fuck.
I'm like, dude, how many faces do we need to see if we're in different places?
And like, do something more productive, you weirdo. Why are we just watching Marnie the whole time?
He just wants to taunt for a while.
For real.
And so the grandma starts going gray, and she like remembers a spell from Marnie. Fucking time travel. Why do we have to go to time travel for this one?
I get it and I don't, because obviously it's an interdimensional movie. Like they're hopping between this Halloweentown dimension to Earth. So it's like,
let's just keep it magic. Let's not go to science.
Because it did get a little sciencey there too.
And then so they time travel back to when Gort was normal and his place was all junky. And I'm like, honestly, if everyone's junk was coming to my house, I would be mad too.
Yeah.
I'd be annoyed. I'd be like, what is this bullshit? I can't clean anything. If I put something down, I lose it. I would go insane.
But then, like, too, you find out once you lose something there, it's lost forever. It doesn't just show right back up there. It's just gone. Like, what?
You have to hold on to everything.
For real.
You're scared.
You should keep everything on you.
You're like, oh,
valuable.
I just lost that forever.
Yep.
Great.
Fuck. They do the montage of searching through the book for the book. And
we learned that Gort sold it like 30
Calabar 50 years ago.
Which I'm like, how old's Calabar? And when did him and the mom date?
Is it
Halloweentown years? So because their years are so long, so like 50 years would be like half a year ago. So you sold it half a year ago in human time? Or am I I'm too high for this?
They went back far as fuck. Like when Gort was like I'm assuming to the very beginnings of.
Maybe. But they also said in a few years he would be clean. So I don't know. I don't know this time stuff that we should never went down this route, especially with the Halloweentown time versus human time.
Because that doesn't make any sense either.
I don't know. I'm freaking out, man.
Because there at one point too, there's like a year is like a century, and I'm like, also, how old is Grandma Aggie, bro?
I don't know.
But then, like, if you're living on the human realm, you don't age the same as if you were living in Halloweentown? Are you aging quicker in Halloweentown? I just keep going.
I think you just age normal human years in Halloweentown. Well, Halloweentown just goes by so fast.
So it's okay.
So you don't age as much.
And you're old as
Yeah,
fuck.
so you'll be like a few centuries and then you'll come out of Halloweentown and it'll be just 3 years. And you're like, oh.
You go through like decades.
And then so they don't find, or they're trying to figure out what to do. It switches back to Sophie and Dylan. They flew to the
Halloween party at the
Sophie
school
flew.
on the broom. Which immediately upon arrival, the mom got mad as fuck at her for. And it's like, girl, I get it, but
they're trying to explain the situation. And the mom just doesn't trust her kid. She does not trust the kids at all. They're literally like, come on, listen to us. Even Dylan's like, listen.
Yeah.
And then she's even, I don't know.
She could really just give a fuck about them. It's just an ongoing theme. She cares too much, but then also not enough. Cares too much about the wrong things.
Right.
Trust your children.
And then so it switches back to Marnie. And now she's trying to like figure out the spell to like
get back to the normal timeline.
Yeah.
Because they figured out what had happened. Cal Barczyk, the book.
Yeah, and they figured out the reverse of the spell, which it was like Trappa, because it's a part backwards. And then so they're trying to figure out the spell, and they're using Gore as like a test subject for the song.
It's so funny. She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. Marnie doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know.
I don't know. And so she can't figure out the spell, and she's freaking out. And then Gort's like, oh yeah, I have this time-traveling broomstick just in my closet. Here you go.
No, I think it was like an actual like time machine, essentially. Yeah. And they were just going through like centuries.
Yeah.
Eons of time. And it was just like...
Why didn't you bring this up earlier?
For real.
I don't know.
We went through all of that. You went through Marnie going through all of these wrong spells. Then be like, oh wait, I can't get you guys back to the right timeline. Like what?
And so during this is happening, we go back to the mom and the siblings. And this time they're like, watch, this dude's a fucking what's it called? Golem or some shit?
Yeah.
Golem. That's like it's like a servant to people, and it's like made of
frogs. Really just frogs.
And so Sophie makes us fly up here. And he uses his tongue to eat the fly. And mom's like, oh my god. She turns him into a bunch of frogs.
Dude, and she was so mad that she just used a little bit of magic to make a fly.
And then she's out here like, bam.
Yep.
I don't know. Mom's ridiculous.
So then the kids are explaining to her, like, hey, bestie.
Cal's evil.
We got to figure this out.
We got to do something. He's going to do something. So they're looking around.
Yep.
And the mom's like, let me put on my mask.
Because he knows what I look like. And it's like, he knows what you all look like.
He gave you the mask.
Yeah. That too. Like.
Because
obviously he would have had to given it to the frogman.
So now it's getting to the last second. Cal's about to do his spell that turns everyone different. And then Marnie and Luke are
time traveling back.
Yeah.
And then she's like, let's cut through this black hole.
And then she brings up Stephen Hawking, and I was like, why are we connecting these? We don't need to connect this.
No.
Keep it magic, please.
Separate from the science.
I don't know why they thought this would be necessary. But then so they go into space, they go through an extra black hole, and I'm like, of course. So they get back to regular time. Marty starts reversing the grandma, and they're like, we gotta get through the portal. And then they don't make it in enough time. The portal closes.
She had at least, what was it, like more than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like the door was closing, but you could have fit, bitch. Like,
She was like, oh no.
and they're like, oh my God, the portal's closed forever. Like, we can't go back now for a whole year. Like,
And they're like, and then Marty's like, actually, why do we have to listen to their rules? And I was like, what?
and they make their own portal whole time.
I'm like, these rules aren't enforced by magic. They're just written rules. They're just like, yeah, follow.
Yeah.
Because this entire movie, they're like, Cal, you're breaking the rules. And he's like, I don't give a fuck about these rules.
They said, bro, the Code of Merlin. The Code of Merlin.
Like, anyone gives a fuck about that.
I also just kept thinking of, from Shrek 3, Merlin.
I can't with you. And then, so they get back, and then they're like, let's hold hands and beat them like we did in the first one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dylan, you gotta believe.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ, you do this again. And then they're beating Cal, and then Cal's like, if you want these spell books, you gotta grab them. And then the worst CGI comes out with these black vines, and they're like moving.
And Marnie's light, and like she's trying to break all the vines, and
she grabs the books. I don't know. I hated this ending.
Dude, it was kind of wacky, do not. Well, and then like throughout this whole thing too, of Marnie and him going back and forth, and then like everyone getting involved in their magic and blah blah blah. There's the whole audience, everyone in that gymnasium that's there for this dance is just watching them, and I'm like,
they think they're tripping.
Like, how is this allowed? But then eventually, like once Cal gets defeated, they do a little reverse spell, and like everyone's costume could come off. Also, didn't mention the costume, the mom, like her face mask, when it went to like the actual monster of her. That shit was scary. Yeah, that was scary.
I don't know what that was.
Spooky is what that was.
Yeah.
Did
and
not
also, it was only people with masks that got changed, which I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, you can't change anyone else.
No.
The people with masks, it's fucked up.
Because there were like whole like fairies and princesses, just like regular people in costumes.
That was cool if everyone to change, so I guess not.
Nope. They didn't have enough money in the budget for that one, Bear.
And so after figuring out the portal to like be able to go through Halloweentown whenever they want, the grandma's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna go back to live in Halloweentown. I was like, damn, she was sick of the human life. I mean, it has been 2 years, so it's still.
Yeah. Girl.
Oh. So how do you feel about this? I feel like
not as good.
No, yeah, when I like watched it and I was sitting there, I was like, it's decent. And then when we were talking about it just now, I was like, ooh, it's not that good.
In comparison to one.
I always thought this one was the better one with them.
I feel like there were a little bit more memorable moments in 2 than in 1.
Yeah.
But then like, yes and no at the same time.
Oh.
There was just not a lot of thought put.
3 might be the best one. We'll get to that next year. You don't agree with that?
I don't even seen 3. I don't think.
You don't know. Okay. Like I said, we'll get to that next year.
Yeah.
So what would you rate this?
Well, she's like good.
2.5.
Yeah, I'm good too. Honestly,
on there.
I don't know. 1 is worth it. I feel like the character development there was definitely there with like Luke and Sophie and Dylan a little bit. I feel like he became a little bit more accepting.
It's the same thing every time.
The mom, no.
No, the mom's never gonna change.
Grandma Aggie's just doing what the fuck she wants. And then Marnie is just
Marnie.
Yeah.
That's Marnie. I think she's the best witch with Sophie's right there.
Literally.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for these. Bye.
Have a good one.